This is the test. You'll be doing an Illustrator test. There's a quiz which will be questions and also this quiz. So pretty much I'm just going to do everything that's on the test, and if you follow this, you'll be right for when you get up to it. Okay, so you just want a new Illustrator document. Okay, so just file new. This one's A4. All right, so A4 landscape this time. Okay, right, same deal. File, place. Okay, we're going to place, you'll be supplied this PDF. Okay, so Illustrator Test 1 PDF, place onto your document. Okay, that'll just fit into A4, should fit in. Okay, all good. Same thing, what we want to do is we want to make this opaque because it's easier to draw over the top of. Okay, it's much easier to see where you're at. It's on a layer, so with our layers here, okay, we're going to lock this one off, this one, and this is your new layer, your working layer, or whatever you want to call it. That's that there. Okay, so literally go through and it tells you, I'll show you what to do, and just follow what it's asking you to do. Some really simple things, some more difficult things, but if you can do all of these, you're doing wonderfully. Right, so we want a black box with a green outline. I've used very ugly colors, but I just have. Okay, so we want to change our fill to black. You can do this later on, but outline to green. Okay, so under the box tool, square box, 6-point stroke. So literally draw across there, and that's going to draw that black box with a green outline, and we'll change that to 6. Simple as, that's it. Okay, you can draw all these boxes. Okay, so I could then go click on this guy, I could draw the next box, and I could change do what I want to do. That's all fine, but the other option, get used to doing this, use the box that you've already drawn. Shift will drag it across in a straight line, and hold Option down will copy it across, so that comes across to here. Okay, box with 4mm radius corners on the bottom. Okay, you've got these little circles here when you select it. If I click on one of those circles and pull that, it'll pull all of that and make them all a radius. Okay, but if you click once on one of the circles and then click, okay, that'll come in and you can pull that radius in that way. Okay, so same deal. So this one, click on this guy, click once, pull him in until that gets to 4, that number gets to 4, and then you're right. That's how you do that, okay? If you don't want a radius, click on the circle, pull the thing, pull it back out, and it will come out again, and it will be 0, okay? So that will go back out to 0. So click once, pull it in, and that will just do one corner. Once, pull it in, that's one corner, okay? Easy, easy. This one, same thing. We're going to use Pathfinder this time. There's Pathfinder or there's Shape Builder. Okay, there's two different ways to do this, but I'll show you both. From now on, you use Shape Builder, but as long as you know. So Option Shift this guy across here. We don't want a stroke on this one, so we're going to take the stroke off. You can see over here. So take the stroke off, and we want a star. So underneath your square tool, there's a star tool. Okay, I can just click that and draw a star straight up. Okay, if I want a certain points of star, while I've got the star tool selected, click on your desktop and say I want a 5, 6, 7, 8-point star. We know we want a 5-point star, and just go OK, and it will give you a star. So scale him down. Okay, I'm just going to make that a different color for now because we're going to etch him out. Well, it's not a him really, but okay, so that star is going to sit like that. Scale that down to the right size. That's your star, pretty much spot on. Okay, so this star is going to sit over the top of that because we're going to make this shape. We're going to cut this shape out. As long as the shape's on top of the other one, so have both of them selected using Pathfinder. I'll just find it. So Window, Pathfinder, using this one. Okay, we've done these before. That's merged into one shape. Okay, we want this one, which is minus front. So if I click on that, it'll cut out the shape of the front. Okay, really easy. But they've got not so much new, but the way to do it now is use this guy, the Shape Builder tool, and hold Option down and just click on the bits you don't want, and that'll cut the shape out. So that's perfect. Okay, that's giving you that shape of that's how you cut shapes out. All right, next one. Option Shift this one across. We want to put a picture inside the shape that we've now made. I'll just do it over here so you can see. Okay, so the way to do this is two ways to do this. With your shape selected, down here, there's little tools here, and they say, okay, draw behind and draw inside. So click on that one. It's very small, but you click draw inside, and it's giving you some selections around it. Then just go File, Place. Okay, so draw inside, which is down here. Then play. I'm just going to pick this image and just go place. Okay, so if I just click on that, it's going to put it inside that shape. It's a very big image, so if I scale that down, it's a really big image. You know how to do this, so grab the corner, hold shift down, scale away, and that's now put the image inside your shape. Okay, so that looks wonderful. All good. So that's how you put something inside a shape. All done. So you click on this one, click off that, and that's right. Okay, so that's how you put things. So that's click on the shape. The other one is to make a mask, and that's done by this. So if you've got a shape like this, if you've got an image, so file, place, this is the second way to do it. Same Bondi image. Okay, just draw that one. So if we send that image to the back, right clicking, arrange, center back. So if you want this shape, if you want that picture in this shape, it's very simple. You just need both selected. And if you right click on those and say make clipping mask, it'll put that shape in that. Okay. Direct selection tool, you can move the picture around inside of the shape. Okay, so that's a clipping mask. So if you right click on that, release clipping mask, all that is. So this one was using the tool down here, which was draw inside, and the other one was having two shapes and making a clipping mask. Okay. Next one, this is working with type. You do a lot of this in Illustrator. I've got some type here. I've just gone to a website, Lorem Ipsum, and I'm just going to use this type here. So literally just copy some type from anywhere, Command C, back to Illustrator. Text in a box, straight up. If you just click on there, if you draw a box, okay, and just go paste, it'll just put the text straight in the box. You can move it around, you can do whatever you want. There's a heading inside of this, so I want to select all the text in that box and make it smaller. So you've got a text character palette here. Command T would do that, or window character comes under here, okay, or type. Okay, so there's all different ways, but Command T will open up this. So we want to make your text smaller. Okay, that looks about right. So I just want a heading in there. It's all, this is like any WordPressing thing. I've just missed a T there. Okay, so we select the heading. This is going to be a heading. It's bigger. Change the font, do whatever you want. So that's straightforward, really, really simple. So Optima, bold, all good. That's how you put text in a box, straight up. Okay, I want a little bit of this text. Just use any text, it doesn't matter. Okay. So place text on an open-ended path. So you know how to do this because you've drawn the card exercise. So just draw a vague path. Okay, it doesn't have to be exactly the same as mine, but pretty close. We'll do that to that. Okay, hit return to stop that from drawing. So you want, under the text tool, there's all sorts of stuff going on. That's your normal type tool. We want type on a path tool. So that guy, we're going to click there, and you can just type that and it'll run around the path. Simple as that. Okay, I could have pasted type there and it will go in there. Once you've got that, you can change the size, you can change all sorts of things, the font, the colors, you can do whatever you want. But that's how you get text on a path. If you want to move it around on a path, these guys here will move stuff around. You can see that. Okay, so with the direct selection tool, you're just using that as a normal text tool. Go to the direct selection tool and it will give you these little handles, and you can, and it's quite sensitive. If you drag underneath, it'll pull it this side of the path. Okay, so that's text on a path. Place text in a circle and center text at top of circle. So under your start tool, you've got ellipse. I'm just going to guess this, but if I click there and hold shift down to get a perfect circle, it's going to draw a perfect circle. But if I hold option, it's going to draw from where I clicked originally. So that's my circle. Same deal. Type on a path tool, just click anywhere on there, and I've just pasted my type on that. Okay, straight up, then this one, and this here will move your text around the path. It's very sensitive as to how you pull it around, but so that will center it around. If you want it on the inside of the circle, you drag that to the inside and come around, it will be on the inside. Okay, so you can see I'm just clicking on these little fine lines here and bringing them out and then putting it around to where I want it to go. Okay, so that's text on a circle. This next one is to draw using the pen tool. Really easy. You know how to do this. You've done it with the card exercise. Straight up, I'm just going to have a red line. A pen tool, click. It'll just click, click. Okay, so come around to this one. Click, don't let go of your mouse and drag. That'll give you that shape. I want to come up to here now, but it won't let me draw this continuing arc, so I'm going to turn that handle off. Go to here, here. Go to there. This one, I'm not going to draw to there because it won't let me do the curve that I want. You can see the curve that it's going to do. So Command Z, undo that. I'm going to go to the middle, drag him out, and then that will let me get to the second part of that. Okay, I want to come up here now, and it won't let me do it because of the curve it's following. So turn the anchor off, come to that one. Wonderful. I'm going to flip my color around. I can make that color green, black, blue, whatever I want. All good? All good. This one, text in a shape using area path tool. So this one, I'm going to select this text. And this one, I'm going to draw a shape. You'll use it. This saves you having to do two boxes. So this one, I've got a shape, a green shape, orange shape. Okay. So this is another text tool. Under the text tool, area type tool. So this puts text inside of an area. So click on that one. Click on that. It will take the color away, but it will let you put that text now is in a box. Okay. So there's two parts to this job now. I can select all that text, and this one here, this fill, I want my text to be red. Okay. So with the direct selection tool, if I now click on the box around it, okay, I can make that yellow. Right, ugly colors, but you can see what that's done is that's just text. This is text in a box. Okay, so it's got two different parts to it. This one is how to indent text. So I'm going to come across here. I'm going to use my same box, just Option Shift that across. Double click on the area path tool. Okay, or it's under here as well. Area type tool, area type options, but the same thing. Double click on the area path tool. Hit preview so you can see what's going on, and offset, insert spacing, and you see what's going on here. Okay, so you can see how that would be useful in a layout. To save you having to do a yellow box and a red box with type in it, that's that. Okay. Brushes, you do lots of stuff with brushes. They're very simple. There's hundreds of them. There's a brush palette here, a brush tool, paintbrush tool. So click on that, but you want to load a certain type of brush. So open your brushes palette. If it's not in the window, if you can't find it, here's mine here. But if you can't find any of these palettes, it's window, they'll be in here somewhere. Okay, brushes is already open, so that's there. So I want to load a cool brush, right? So in the brushes palette, down here, there's all sorts of brushes. Decorative, scatter brush, bristle brush, borders, artistic. I'm going to do artistic ink. Okay, that'll give me a bunch of all. This is your brushes palette, but this is the artistic ink brushes palette. So if I click on that, I've loaded it into my brushes palette. I just happen to have that selected before, so it's changed it into that. So deselect everything. So I want to load this brush is now into there. So back to the brushes tool, and I just want to draw the word Bob now, and all that's doing. So that's just drawing a cool brush so I can draw. So you can see that's that. Okay, so brushes are they're fantastic. You can do some very cool things with it. So I've loaded a brush. If I click on this one, if I make it that brush, it's going to be that furry brush. That's going to be that brush. There's hundreds and thousands of brushes. Okay, you can get brushes from the internet, but that's how you load a brush. Quite similar to Photoshop, but that's a brush. Gradients. Okay, straight up under the rectangle tool, there's an ellipse tool. I'm going to click. Remember that Option Shift will draw a circle from the center out. Okay, so this one, there's a gradient palette. So we'll get rid of these ones. Where are you, gradient palette? Okay, I can't find the gradient palette, so what I want to do is go to Window, Gradient, open it. Okay, so what I tend to do is, we're talking about the fill here, just put a gradient straight into it. Okay, but what you need the gradient one, and you need the swatches open. So you need two different palettes open. So Window, Swatches. Okay, so we've got this one, and we've got the gradient. All you do is you just put the gradient straight into it. It goes from black to white. You've got linear, which goes up and down, and radial, which is round, which is exactly what we want. There's a gradient, it's got black and white in it, and then just drag the colors in you want. So I'm going to click the red, drag that over the top of the gradient thing, and it's made that red. Does that make sense? And then the green to the green, and that's giving you a red. You can move it there. There's hundreds of ways to change a gradient. So you can move your gradient. You can see that's changing the difference of it. You can have more colors if you want. So if you want to go to orange, to blue, it can be as ugly as you want. More green, black. So you can just keep doing gradients after gradients. If you don't want them, you just click on that little thing here and you drag it away. So we want that. So that's how you set a gradient into a circle, and then you use your gradient tool here. Okay, this is wonderful. So this one, then you can move the gradient inside of the thing. So then you can move it around and see. So it's called on the fly. So you can change the gradient live. Okay, so you can move where that goes. You can rotate the gradient around. You can do all sorts of things. Okay, all right. So that's a gradient tool. So you put the gradient into it and then you change it with the gradient tool here. All right. You've done Pathfinder. We're going to draw this funny Mickey Mouse shape. Right, so what you want to do is just draw the shape. So Control Option Shift. So just draw all your circles first. See, it's got a green and red gradient. It's just using the same colors as the last thing that we did. So Option Shift that across. So I want all those to be red. Okay. What I might do is just flip them around so I can see. So draw your shapes that you want first. So that little eye there. Okay. I want it to be exactly the same size, so I'm going to Option Shift that across. I'm just going to draw a mouth. Not a good mouth, but I'm just going to do that. Okay, this is quite rough. You would do this better if you were doing it for a real job. So that's a funny mouse mouth. I can't say that. Just draw the colors here. So I'm just going to draw a little bit of a shape here. So you can see how that's going on. I'm just turn that handle off. So I've got all the things I want to do, right? So that one, hold shift down to multiple select. Those four shapes, just for now, I'm going to make them green, and I'm just going to, okay. And this stuff, I'm going to make red. So flip that around. So that's it. First thing I want to do is join the head and the ears together. So I'm going to select those three. Remember Pathfinder. So Pathfinder, okay, unite that as one shape, or use the shape builder and just draw through all those. It'll join them into one shape wonderfully. Then I want to get this one and that one, and I can minus front, but we're not going to minus front. What we're going to do is just select the whole thing. Use Pathfinder, use Shape Builder again, hold Option down and just delete the bits you don't want. And that's a really good way to punch out the areas that you don't want. So that's my funny mouth. If I want to see how I'm going, I can turn the background layer off and see what's left. Patterns, same again. Rectangle, I'm just going to draw a square. Pretty much just draw a square straight up. If you hold your mouse to that, hold Shift down, it will rotate on itself. So I'm going to get this pretty much the right size. So I'm going to put that there. Okay. So the next thing I want to do is Option Shift that down and it will snap. Or I can grab that with the direct selection tool, snap that onto there. Okay. So get both of those, Option Shift that down so it'll snap into place here. Okay. And Command D will just duplicate it. So grab all of those things, Option Shift copies that across, and Command D will just duplicate it over. It's not exactly underneath, but it is what I've got. Okay. There's another trick to that while I'm at it. If I drag that into the swatches palette, okay, it'll make a shape. So if I now draw a shape and click on the one that I just did, it'll place that so you can make your own fill. We'll do this later down the track, but that's very helpful. Right, strokes is the last thing. So this is just doing a line with round ends and a line with a stroke around it. So this is just using your line tool. So click on that, hold shift down and just draw a line. And whatever your last thing was set at, so this guy, I'm going to do a red stroke. Okay, up in the stroke palette, I'm going to make it thicker. So that's just how you do a thick stroke. Right, in the stroke palette here, it's a 9-point stroke and you can see the cap on it. So this here where it says cap, I'm going to put, so you can see here, I'm going to make a round cap. So the first one is a straight edge, so Option Shift that across. I'm going to put a round cap on it. Okay. The next one, Option Shift. So it's just, these guys look the same. That's a stroke with a round end on it. This, but I want to put a stroke around this stroke, if that makes sense. What you could do is you could copy that. You could say paste in front or paste in back. And the one at the back, if you made it black and if you made it thicker, it would come out as a stroke. That's just two strokes with the back one being thicker. But what I want to do is this stroke here, I want to convert it to a shape. So go to Object, Expand Appearance, or Expand, yep, and just go OK. And that's turned that into a solid shape. So now you can put a stroke around that solid shape and change that. Okay, so that's all of those things that you'll be doing, done relatively quickly, but I'm sure you'll work them all out. Okay, thank you.